Hello, this is Brother Johnny Williams with another edition of In the Word. My brothers and sisters, I don't have a certain passage of scripture that I want to come to you with tonight, but there's a message that I want to deliver. And really, I want to talk to my fellow pastors. I was in a conversation with a gentleman today, and we got to talking about the conventions that pastors attend from time to time. I hadn't attended one yet, but from the conversation we had, this pastor was telling me what a joyous time that they had, meeting and greeting other pastors from all over the country. And it started hitting me. Why do we have to wait till a certain time, so to speak, to have conventions? Why can't we have one every day? If you look at the state of the world from a pastor's point of view, a lot of these things are unfolding. They've been foretold in the Bible that these events were going to unfold the way they're unfolding. We also know that the Lord promises us that as busy as the devil may be, he will not win. He has an appointed time to do shall I say, all the damage that he can. But the end result, we know what is going to be the end result with him. But the damage that he is doing, I say, this is what the Lord has given me, we can minimize that damage. And this is how we do it, my fellow pastors. I'm going to start a series of sermons each and every day, and I'm going to issue a challenge to pastors that I have had the honor and the privilege of knowing for a long time. Some of these men have been out there on the battlefield doing God's work for a long time. God bless them. What I want to do is, I use this word that I hear all the time. Let's uplift one another. I always tell you, this is the format or the form that I use in order to spread God's word. Why? Because I can reach more people. I come to the realization that the perception of pastors and ministers, with all due respect, it looks like it's starting to diminish a little. It looks as if we get into a stage of repetitiveness, if I pronounce that word correctly. We do the same thing over and over and over again. And I can walk into some churches, I visit them all the time, and most of the people there probably been there since the church was established. Very old church members. From time to time, you see some individuals get up, they introduce themselves. A few pastors, churches that I go to, they have a stand-up where they'll ask, are there any visitors? Would you like to stand up and introduce yourself? And at some point in some of the services, there are people that join the church. Now, again, when I was a little fellow, right there at First Baptist Church there in West Helena, Arkansas, it used to be when I walked in there, Mama would take me to church. We go in there, every pew was filled. The church was filled. And there are people constantly joining, young and old. But as time progresses, I start seeing that fade just a little. Now, I've said for every cause, there's an effect. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of the world these days, there are people that do not walk with God. They walk away from Him. But let me interject this. We have to be more effective. I know you've heard me say it before. We have to be more effective. We have to find ways to be more effective, reaching and saving souls. I'm always praying for God to give me a clear answer, a vision, where that I may share, where we can be more effective in saving souls. So I come up No, I didn't say I come up. God gave me this. Again, I want to start a series of sermons where I am going to uplift a pastor that I respect tremendously each and every time I come to you. And I'm going to humbly ask that pastor off of the sermon that I give. I'm going to humbly ask him. Maybe they didn't hear what I said, Pastor so and so. Maybe they didn't hear what I said. Would you be so kind as to continue this? Again, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, I use all of those forms to get my message out there. That way, whatever pastor picks this up and takes it forward, his message is also going to be going on and on. And I believe that we can reach more people that way because we all have different deliveries. And someone that might not be as responsive to me may be more responsive to another pastor's delivery. So I'm going to begin tonight. I always preach about it starts with the family. So I'm going to use this passage from Proverbs. You've heard it before. It says, raise up a child in the right ways, for when he get old, he will not depart from it. I've also, we've had discussions about that. So I'm going to begin my challenge right now to a pastor that I talk with, fellowship with through here, YouTube or Messenger. I'm going to answer this challenge to Pastor Anthony D. Banks. Pastor, maybe they didn't hear what I said when I said raise up a child in the right ways, for when he get old, he will not depart from it. Would you be so kind, Pastor, as to get up? I'm talking as if I'm sitting in your church. Would you get up and say a few words to them about that passage? I'm going to end on that, and I'm going to be watching to see if we pastors, in the spirit of uplifting, will join together. We're getting better all the time. We're getting better all the time. We aren't what we ought to be, but we are better than we used to be. You know why? Because we have a made up mind. Thank you. Take that challenge, Pastor, and God bless you.